Hello, good morning. So we'll discuss on module number 4, that is bending stresses and shear stresses in beams. So in the last module we have discussed about the shear force and bending moment of different kinds of beam, that is cantilever beam, simply supported beam and overhanging beams. And in case of cantilever beam, one typical case we have where there is a zero shear force towards some section. Suppose we have got a overhanging beam on both side and we have got point loads on the both the overhanging portions at the free end. Then we get a case of zero shear force from in between the supports from A and B, because the reactions will be equal. So there is a case of zero shear force, that is pure bending is there. So due to the applied loads in case of any kind of beams, bending stresses are developed, bending moment is developed, and in order to counteract bending moment, bending stresses are developed in the beams. So that we are going to discuss. So for that so many assumptions are there. The beam is considered to be initially flat, then plane cross sections before bending will remain plane even after bending. The deflections are very small. Then other assumptions are there. So let us see first what are the how to find the expression for bending stress. So let us take a beam which is loaded uniformly or any kind of beam. Then before bending the section will be like this. I have taken a part of a beam. I have considered two sections, section 1 and section 2. We are going to find the expression for bending stress. Then we have taken two section. I have taken two section 1 and 2 at a distance dx. Okay. Then this is the layer where there is inextensible layer, or where it experiences no kind of nothing compression or tension. When a beam bends, top layers will be under compression, bottom layers will be under tension. The beam is considered to be of different layers, and top layers are to be, if it is simply supported, top layers are considered to be in compression, bottom layers are to be considered in tension. So I have considered a layer EF which is at a distance y from the neutral axis, that is NN. Okay. So this is a case or a diagram before bending of the beam. After bending, the beam assumes this type of shape, that is it assumes some radius of curvature, that is r, and the included angle is theta in between the sections 1 and 2. Okay. The layer NN will remain NN only. The length of the layer will remain NN only. That is, here it is initially dx. After bending also the length will be dx only. So top layers here will be under compression, bottom layers will be under tension. So top layers above the neutral layer, they will get compressed. The length is decreased, and bottom layers the length is increased. So the length EF changes to E dash F dash. Okay. Then N dash and NN are same, because the layer is neutral layer. It will not experience any compression, neither tension nor compression. Then for calculation of bending stress, we will take consider a layer EF at a distance y from the neutral layer, and original length of the layer EF is dx, that is the length of the neutral layer, that is this one, original length is EF. Then NN is equal to NN dash, that is NN is equal to NN dash, that is equal to dx. But NN dash after bending, it will assume a shape of an arc of a circle. So this length will be equal to radius multiplied by included angle, that is r theta. Okay, that is equal to r theta. And E dash F dash will be equal to, this is at a distance of E plus y, r plus y. So this length will be equal to r plus y into theta. But NN dash is equal to dx, and hence dx is equal to r theta. So increase in the layer EF is equal to EF, E dash F dash minus EF, that is this length minus this length will be the difference in the length. So that will be equal to r plus y theta minus r theta, that will be equal to y theta. Okay, because r theta cancels, we are left with only y theta. So strain is equal to change in length divided by original length. So change in length is y theta, that is y. And original length is, this is n dash, that is a dx, that is equal to dx equal to r theta. So the strain in the layer epsilon is equal to y divided by r, where y is the distance of the layer, r is the radius of the curvature. So stress variation will be equal to, we know that Young's modulus is equal to stress divided by strain. So strain is equal to stress divided by Young's modulus. So we know that strain y is equal to y by r from this relation. Therefore sigma by y is equal to E by r is the relation between stress and strain. Okay. Now we'll discuss how to find the position of neutral axis and what is the moment of resistance. So consider a section y at a distance y from the neutral axis. So we know that from earlier relation sigma by y is equal to E by r. So sigma will be equal to E by r into y, that is stress is proportional to the distance of the layer under consideration. So always, because Young's modulus is constant for the material, and for a particular bending radius of curvature is also constant. So stress is proportional to y. So from this relation we know that at neutral axis the stress is 0, and at the most distant layer is this top fiber and bottom fiber. So the stress is maximum at top fiber and bottom fiber. So if you draw the diagram for stress, it will be like this. Bending stress diagram will be like this. This is the bending stress diagram. So in all the problem we have to find the bending stress at different layers and draw this diagram. As the relation is linear, stress is proportional to strain, so the bending stress diagram is also a straight line, and at neutral axis it is 0. So this is neutral axis, at neutral axis. So this is maximum bending moment in bending stress in tension, and this is the maximum bending in compression if it is simply supported. If it is cantilever, it will be reverse. Top layers will be under tension, bottom layers will be under compression, because the beam bends downward, hence top layers will be under tension. Then considering the aspect of neutral axis, considering the force on the layer, force on this layer is equal to stress multiplied by area. So this small area is dA, so stress multiplied by area. Stress is equal to sigma by r into y, Young's modulus divided by r into y is the stress multiplied by area is dA. dA is equal to this width multiplied by breadth. Breadth of the section is b. So total force on the section, I have taken only one layer. If I take total force on the section, we have to integrate between the limits from here to here. So total integration of E by r into y dA. So out of that, E by r is constant. Okay. Then but for pure bending, there is no stress or no force on the section. If I remember the diagram, if you take the diagram like this, and if you draw the forces like this, or if you take overhanging beam, the bending stress diagram or shear force diagram will be like this. So this is here there is a zero shear force. So zero shear force means maximum bending, that is the bending moment is maximum here. So this is the maximum bending moment. If you draw the bending moment diagram, this is the shear force diagram. So in this portion there is a zero shear force, that means the bending moment is maximum in this portion. So we are concentrating only in this portion, so that is zero shear force. So in this section the total force on the section will be equal to 0. So for pure bending there is no force on the section, therefore this relation is equal to 0. So out of that, Young's modulus is not equal to 0 and radius of curvature is not equal to 0. So we have to take these two constant outside this one. So summation y dA, integration y dA must be equal to 0. This means that it is nothing but y dA is 0 is nothing but that the neutral axis is lying on the centroidal axis of the section. Integration of all the distance of the layers and into area will be equal to 0. So this is nothing but the CG. So the centroidal axis gives the position of neutral axis. So in all the cases it is a rectangular section, hence centroidal neutral axis lies at this is d by 2 and this is b by 2. Okay. So this is symmetrical one. In case of any other section, C section, L section and I section, you have to find the position of CG, centroid of the area of the lamina, that is the position of neutral axis. Neutral axis is a layer where there is no compression or no tension. It is equal to 0. Okay. So then we will go to what is the moment of resistance. I have taken a section of a beam where different kinds of loads are there. Due to load, reactions are developed, and due to that shear forces are developed. Okay. So due to that each layer it consists of different layers. Each layer we have got different forces. So each layer we have seen the force on each layer is sigma into dA. So total force on the layer is E by R into Y dA, that is total force on single layer. So total moment of this force is equal to about neutral axis is equal to force multiplied by distance. Force is at each layer it is sigma by, here at this layer it is sigma into dA is a force into distance is y. So that is E by R into Y is sigma into dA into distance is y. So E by R into y square dA is the moment of force on one layer. So total moment of the force is nothing but the moment of resistance, that is equal to summation or integration E by R into y square dA. So if you calculate this, here if you see E by R is again a constant, summation y square dA is nothing but second moment of area, that is nothing but moment of inertia of the whole section. So that is equal to I, y square dA is equal to I. So M is equal to nothing but the moment of resistance, that is equal to E by R into Y. So this is the relation, that is a bending equation or Bernoulli's equation, pure bending equation. This is M by I is equal to sigma by Y is equal to E by R. Here M is nothing but the moment of resistance, which is equal to bending moment. So whatever is the moment due to these forces will be acting on the beam as bending moment externally, and moment of resistance is nothing but due to this force, which is MR, that is moment of resistance, which is acting opposite to this one. Hence the beam is in equilibrium. Otherwise the beam will start rotating about the difference in the moment. So external bending moment will be equal to moment of resistance. Moment of resistance is developed due to applied loads on the beam, and it is equal to bending moment which is externally. So in the last module, shear force and bending moment in the beams, we have calculated bending moment in all the beams. So that is which is external. So in case of calculation of internal bending moment, it is nothing called, it is called as moment of resistance. So M is moment of resistance or the which is equal to external bending moment in kilonewton meter. I is moment of inertia of the whole section about its centroidal axis. E is Young's modulus of the beam material. Then R is radius of curvature of the after bending. Then sigma is bending stress, which is also referred as sigma B. Sigma B in compression, sigma B in tension. and y is the distance of the layer. So y is considered from neutral axis. Okay. So here if you take the beam, like this with supports, so this layer which is at centroidal axis, it is called neutral layer. And here the layer crossing the neutral layer is called as the neutral axis. So this is neutral axis. Neutral axis is along the length of the beam, and that is this length. This is called neutral layer, and if you take cross section, so this is called as the neutral axis. So always neutral axis passes through centroidal axis of the section, whether it is I section, whether it is L section, or rectangular section, or circular section, or triangular section. So to find the position of neutral axis, you have to find the centroidal axis or centroid of the section. So y is the layer of the distance of the layer from neutral axis, positive side, negative side. Okay, and the bending stress diagram will be like this. Okay, thank you.